Okay, so let's hear how you met your wife.
Yeah. So
She worked for Neiman Marcus. I thought that's what you worked for.
Neiman Marcus. Yeah.
No, yours was Nordstrom.
Nordstrom.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So, both overpriced, I think, places.
Definitely Neiman Marcus, man.
Well, I got a PETA story. That can be
What's PETA? Like pets? The pet thing, PETA?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They would always come in, and they were really.
Wait, PETA would come into the store?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Disguised, right? Or like normal people or whatever, right? And then not really picketing or anything, but they would come in and the third floor or the second floor. I forget the name of the department, but it was like skins, like animals, like furs, right? $1,000 furs, and they would come by and red paint, like
really?
pour red paint all over the.
like ruin it?
Oh yeah.
So what?
PETA, that's their.
What do you do at that point when that happens?
With
whenever they
stuff?
destroy the property, yeah, like that.
Well, I mean, they do it. The exit's right there, so they do it. Take off. You can't do anything about it. But no, they just throw those away. Throw away the.
Oh wow.
The furs.
Did they ever stop putting the furs right there by the exit?
No.
They just kept doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this well, never mind. Go.
Yeah. So I was working the loss prevention department,
Okay.
and that's the the camera work. The watching the theft, making sure no one steals. So the new hire class, right? I always put the camera on the new hire class. There's a door, the break room's there, so I put it on the door when I know they're coming out. They're coming out. So when they come out, I would watch their, look at them and see their faces just to get the names, because I have a list of the names, and I would see who they were, just to see anything, a gut feeling about anybody.
The new hire, what?
New hires.
Oh,
the new hire class, the ones that are coming on. So this one particular class comes out, and they're all funneling out, and kind of towards the end, this girl comes walking out. So I zoom in. I gotta make sure she, my gut feeling's okay with this one. So I zoom in on her, and she was really really beautiful. She was really good. But at this particular moment, the camera, I don't know what happened, but the camera started following her, and it followed her all over the store, and to where her department was. So I was like, man.
Did it mean to follow? Like, did you make it follow her?
I don't know. My hand. I think my hand might have been pushing the camera that way. I'm not quite sure.
Are you joking or being serious? Yeah. Okay.
I was watching her. Oh yeah, I was definitely watching her. So she goes, and I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm thinking, man, I gotta go meet this girl.
Yeah.
Later. So
these are the new hires.
All the new hires. So I don't know. Kind of towards the end of the day, I went out there to meet her, and introduced myself, and I started talking to her, and I asked her out that one time. Hey, you want to go out to eat tonight? Go out to dinner? And she accepted. She said yeah. And as I was walking away, she kind of turned me to walk her away, and I was like, hey, I like your pockets. And she looks at me, she's like, I don't have any pockets. I know. So I was obviously,
Oh, that was your wife.
That was Heather, yeah.
That was Heather.
Yeah, that's Heather. So that's
you're brave telling our story, and Heather's here.
That's the whole thing. But,
oh, you didn't know it was
no.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was Heather.
No, so that's what I'm talking about. Let's share stories of our wives before marriage.
Crap.
I was like, I know you have stories.
Why are you telling this story?
Okay, so I got a story. This is whenever Ketty, so my wife, found out that she could really love me and trust me, right? That I could protect her. So she was Ketty is
Before you married.
Before we got married.
Okay.
Before we got married. So I'll back up. So when we first met, she thought I was like some stuck up kid that just got off his mission, and she's a little bit older than I am, and we became like really good friends. But I started liking her, and she didn't want to admit she liked me because she thought I was just some 21-year-old kid that didn't know what he wanted to do, and so as we got closer, one night we were walking around the neighborhood there in Mesquite, and it wasn't the best neighborhood, but I felt like it'd be fine. And she was like, Kenneth, there's that car keeps passing us. I was like, really? That car did? Yeah, it's already passed us like 2 times. And I said, okay, if it comes again, let me know. She's like, there it is right there. And I was like, okay, follow me. And so we started heading up to the
You guys were just walking around?
yeah, we were walking around the neighborhood. We were just talking. It was probably in between 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning, right?
Oh.
Because so she lived with, well, I'm getting off tangent. So anyways, so we're walking, and as soon as we hit, so we're walking on the sidewalk, right, by the street, and we're coming up to a walkway that leads to a door. And so my idea was to go up to the door and knock at the door. I just said, Kethy, follow me. And at that time, this big, huge guy, it's like twice as big as I am, he gets out and goes, can I help you? And I was like, no, man, we're just going to my friend John. And remember, John does not live there, nothing, right? I'm just making this up because I don't know if this guy was coming to rob us or what. I mean, he's huge and he's looking a little gangster. And so I was like, no, man, it's good. And so he starts following us up. He's like, no, let me help you. I was like, no, we're looking for our friend John. He's like, John lives next door. And I was like, no, John lives here. And I started knocking on the door. John, open the door, John, open the door. In the corner of my eye, I see the big guy to my right, and he's looking through the window. And I look over at him, and he goes, babe, open the door. Babe, open the door. It's me, babe, open the door. And remember, it's 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, you live here? And he's like, yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you, man. John lives next door. This is my house. And I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry about that. He's like, you want me to go get John? I said, no, man, I'm good. We'll talk to John tomorrow. And you know, I didn't know a John. I just said that just to act like I knew what I was doing. So the guy didn't rob us or beat us up. And Kethy's crying at this point, and it, like all of her emotions are just coming out. And so I just hold her. And so at that time, this little guy comes out of the car. He's like, what's wrong, man? What's wrong? And I was like, no, it's okay, man. We thought that you were trying to rob us or something because you passed us 3 times. He's like, I thought y'all was crackheads because you already you were right by my house. And so my cousin's over here, the little guy, my cousin's over here dealing with woman problems. And I'm sitting here trying to watch my house because I thought 2 crackheads were right there by it. And so anyways, so I was like, oh man, I'm sorry about that. And he said it again. He's like, you want? Let's go get John, man. We'll wake him up. And I was like, no, man, really. We'll talk to him later. No, it's all good. And so we left. And man, after that, she was hit with the love bug like that. And she'd tell a story that she knew that's whenever she knew that I could protect her and keep her safe.
Boom. That's awesome. That's funny.
Yeah, it was one of the coincidences, you know, that he gets out and we think, you know, he's coming to do something to us because he's already passed us like 2 or 3 times, and then he thinks we're doing something to his house, and it just so happened to be we're right there. But it was funny, man. Babe, open the door.
So what would you have done if John came out of the house and was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad.
Oh, wrong John. Yeah. You're John. Oh, you're different John. I know, totally different John.
So whenever we saw whenever we got engaged, we went to the temple, and I came out of the dressing room, and that girl that I'm telling you about is sitting right there with Kethy, and I was like, like that. I was like, what do I do? This is like a girl that I guess you'd call her my ex-girlfriend, and now my fiance, and they're right there, and it's in the temple, and I'm like, yes, yeah, and she's probably initiated the conversation because Kethy doesn't have a problem with things like that, and so I was like that, and so when we got in the car, man, Kethy was like, you don't want to marry me or something? What's going on? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you don't want to marry me because I saw your face whenever you saw that girl. You know, and I said, what are you talking about? It was really weird because you were sitting right next to her and talking to her. It's like, it shouldn't be weird because you promised to marry me, not her. And I was like, Kethy, it's okay. Yeah. So anyway, so I was like, man, of all places too in the temple, I was like, I just come around from the dressing room and they're sitting there next to each other. I was like,
so they knew who each other were.
They did, yes. Yeah, they knew each other because again, so Kethy and I, during this whole time of me dating these other girls, like we become friends. And so we'd become really good friends. So she knew all these girls too. And we would go out in groups sometimes with like young single adults. And a lot of these girls, it wasn't meant to be, but I was just I was just attracted to those girls. They were all Hispanic girls from the Spanish. Some of them were from the Spanish one, and these girls were from. And so they had that connection, and they got along. But whenever we started dating, it was, and they still got along. But it was just, to me, it was awkward. I was like,
You walked there like, awkward.
Yes, it was super awkward.
So we went this one day, this one night, but we don't go until late at night because I have to work. And then after I work, I go home, and the Polynesian Cultural Center closes, and then we have to wait for all the buses. There's only a 2-lane road from all the way for about an hour. So we have to wait for all the buses to go past, and then we go. So unless we try and beat the buses, all the tourist buses. So we don't leave until about 10:30 at night to go down to Waikiki. And and we went to the movies, and at BYU you have the standards to dress modestly, the standards to dress modestly. And we were at the movie theater, and a lot of the girls that come with it are always dressed so scantily. And I didn't like that. And I looked around, I kept seeing how much they were just...
At BYU, you're saying?
No, this is down at Waikiki.
Oh, gotcha.
And I looked at all these other girls that are always dressed so scantily.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at my wife, my date at the time, looked at her, I looked at those girls, I said, that is not what I want, how those girls were dressed. Mm-hmm. And I looked at my wife, I just said to myself, I love that she dresses modestly, because that's what I want. And I was sorry, that's
cool.
It was so weird. It's something so simple.
Yeah.
But I said to myself, that's what I want.
Nice.
The type of person I want to marry.
Yep.
Someone that's just dressed modestly. And my wife we were just sitting there eating Cinnabons, just laughing. And I kept seeing these girls passing by, and they're always dressed. To me, I say dressed not bad. Mm-hmm. I don't like the way they dress. So it's something so simple, but that's how I.
That's funny you say it, because my wife, she's a convert to the church, and I've said this story many times to people, and she's okay. But so we were at a friend's house, Angel's house. And this is her first time meeting anybody. Well, my friends, in the church and stuff. So she pulls up outside Angel's house, right? So I open the door, and she's coming around. Your story reminded me of this, because she walks in, not modest, okay, and I'm like, I'm standing in the doorway. I'm like, oh, there's some other people here, some younger kids. I'm like, oh no, and she also has a bottle of wine in her hand. So I'm like, I'll get out there real quick. Hey, no, we don't need this in this bottle. She's like, you don't? I'm like, no. So again, mind you, this is before she was a member, and then she
she's all.
She tells it herself. But she walked back in, and it's the top of her. She just had really, really short hair.
Yeah.
And we sit down and we start going through. But the cool thing about it was, she told me later, she's like, man, it was neat to see how we could have fun and laugh without having to drink. Mm-hmm. And that was awesome. And just the other night, we were sitting here talking, and she said the same thing. She's like, I just love how we can get together, us, and we were doing things, and just you don't have to have alcohol. We don't have to have something to make us laugh or make us get that way. She loves it. But that was her her first impression of being around us, members of our church, is that we can. It was totally different, but she liked that. And she liked that environment, and so it was pretty. We've told that story many times. So
okay, I was like, oh my goodness.
No, she's
Yeah, I want to make sure I wasn't laughing out loud.
I mean, it's a story that's funny to us, right? And Angel Maggie, we always laugh at that, and it's just it's her testimony, builder for her, seeing that it was different than what she was used to, but she liked it more than the other side.